they're either not going to have Aaron Rodgers if he's not cleared by Sunday, or the more likely outcome, at least that's what everyone thinks at this point, he comes back Saturday. Matt LaFleur, the coach of the Packers, has already said that Rodgers will start on Sunday if indeed he's cleared on Saturday. Now, LaFleur also tried to suggest that maybe they'll use both quarterbacks because it's going to be Jordan Love at practice all week, not Aaron Rodgers. So we don't know for sure that we're going to see Aaron Rodgers. We don't know how well he's going to do, although I think he's probably experienced enough, smart enough, good enough that he could just show up and play well.
Yeah.
But that's the other side of this. Will we see Aaron Rodgers? How much of him will we see? And will he be as effective as he would have been if he hadn't been exiled from the building for 10 days?
I have a hard time believing that he will be. I mean, I know he's still Aaron Rodgers, and he's, going to be good, yes. But, I mean, that amount of time off without, throwing balls to your receivers and practicing, even Aaron Rodgers, I would think, is going to be a little off, certainly. And that's where it's going to get dicey, especially if Russell Wilson's playing. Yeah, again, the Packers are a good football team. They've established themselves as one of the better teams in the NFC. We know that. If not the best. I mean, again, if Aaron Rodgers is playing on Sunday, they're going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't really question that. And you got the Seattle Seahawks with, their backs against the wall. They know they don't got much room for error, and that's where it's a big game. And again, that's where I go back to this whole thing. I just can't believe Aaron Rodgers, risked this because of not getting vaccinated. I think that's where I'm more shocked than anything. That's where I just can't believe it. And of course, we're already seeing it kind of come about here. They lost to Kansas City. They're not the number one seed now. Just right away after the big win against Arizona, boom, here you are. And, I think that's disappointing. And, it's a little disappointing the way – Mike, here's what bothers me. Again, I don't care that he didn't.
I know this is difficult for you.
Well, it is. I don't care. You know me. That's going to show. I don't play favorites here. Like I can't believe he risked it for the sake of the football team, for the sake of his own legacy. He gives everybody a jump off point again to kind of make it look like, hey, you're a diva and it's all about you. In the interview with Pat McAfee, man, it was a lot of I, me, me, I, me. Man, that's all everybody could tell me. Man, it's a lot of I talk from him. All right, so that doesn't look good on him. And then I think, breaking rules, right? Okay, you're not vaccinated. Follow the rules then. Follow the rules. Don't be disrespectful to people. That to me is where I'm a little surprised by that as well. And from a lot of different standpoints there, as far as disrespecting people, the NFL, your organization, everything, that. And then I think the thing that probably bothers me is just, how he was deceitful about it. You're Aaron Rodgers. This is a conversation in our country. Own it then if you don't want to get vaccinated. I'm fine with you not being vaccinated. That's fine, but own it. Let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. Don't hide within the woke mob and then you get caught and then yell at the woke mob. Like, oh, hey, whoa, woke mob. You were hiding amongst the woke mob. You're trying to let it all like, hey, I'm cool. I'm part of you guys. Oh, wait, I got caught? How dare the woke mob call me out? Like, that to me is where he looks foolish, in my opinion. And that's where, I think he's definitely lost fans and respect from people around the league and everybody that watches football because of that.
Nothing in the course of the last 6 days has changed my initial opinion on the matter, and it's very simple. He didn't want to get vaccinated. He didn't want to be criticized by anyone for not being vaccinated. So he decided he was going to pretend he was vaccinated.
Yeah.
He was going to act like he was no different than the rest of the guys who have gotten the jab because he thought the rules were stupid. He didn't think he should have to wear a mask during press conferences, and who knows whether and to what extent he wore a mask in the facility. But I think the rules are dumb. They don't apply to me. The Packers aren't going to make me do it because they're already afraid of me.
Right.
They already are tiptoeing around me.
Right.
And it was a perfect storm of events that caused him to make that choice that he's going to conceal his unvaccinated status, lie about it if he had to, and I reject completely and entirely any efforts by anyone to put blame on the reporters who were in the room on August 26th for not asking the magic question, well, you said you're immunized. Does that mean, are you just playing games with us here, Aaron? Come on, Aaron. Do you mean you're not vaccinated and you're just saying you're immunized? Are you trying to pull a fast one here? Because when you're asked, are you vaccinated? And he says, yeah, I've been immunized. If you take off the yeah, then maybe, just maybe, there's an argument to be made that somebody should have said, wait a minute, are you using a different word because you're not vaccinated? I thought he didn't use vaccinated because it's a hot button, and he's trying to stay away from either side being mad at him.
Right.
Doesn't want to use the V word. That's what I said the next day. I wish I'd gone the next step like Michael Smith had and said, no, he's just full of crap. He's lying and he's covering it up. Because, Chris, right after he says, yeah, I've been immunized, and I know we've plowed this ground, but I think it's important because there's people who are still hiding in this idea. Oh, it's the reporter's fault for not asking the question. That's baloney. That's crap. Stop it. Stop it. You're making yourself look like a fool by pushing that issue. He says, yeah, I've been immunized. And then he says, I'm not going to judge my teammates who haven't been vaccinated. Well, of course he's not. He's not vaccinated himself. And then he's asked, hey, Aaron, and I'm paraphrasing here, but hey, Aaron, you got Kirk Cousins in Minnesota who's keeping himself in a hermetically sealed container. You've got the Patriots. They're not happy with Cam Newton because he's not vaccinated. Why did you do it? Did you do it for football reasons so you'd be available? Or did you just do it to set a good example? That's his moment to say, I'm sorry, you've misunderstood me. I'm not really vaccinated. I know. Did I lead you to believe I'm really vaccinated? No. Sorry. No, he answered it with the premise that he's vaccinated.
Exactly.
It's subtle.
Right.
It's subtle.
Yeah.
But when he answers that question, like, no, that's not the reason. Come on. That's what offends me more than anything else. And to me, and I'm going to give that's the kind of moment where you provide a little window, just a little window into your soul and who you really are when you try to pull that crap.
Yeah.
That's been the biggest problem for me with all this.
I hear you.
He gave us a little glimpse into who he really is, and it ain't pretty.
No, that's where he's going to lose people. Again, I've only met him twice in my life real quick, so I don't know Aaron Rodgers. And I don't want to say that gives you a look at what he really is, but he at least is going to give everybody the ammo to exactly say that and go where they want with it. There's no doubt. It's going to be hard for him to fight back against that narrative of selfish Aaron Rodgers, diva Aaron Rodgers. All he cares about is himself. That's the narrative around him. There's a faction of the Green Bay fan base that's sick of Aaron Rodgers. We know that. They're sick of it. They always feel like it's something. So this doesn't help his case. That's where, it can affect his legacy in more than one way here. Because, again, if they don't get the number 1 seed, and now they're the number 3 seed, let's say, and, they don't get the advantage of you just talked about. Seattle hasn't won in Green Bay in 21 years. Yeah, it's hard to win in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers is awesome, and they know how to play in that cold weather. It's a great home field advantage. So they lose that. That's going to hurt his legacy from there. And then he had the legacy of a little bit, in my opinion, of being honest in a good interview. And now he's kind of hurt that as well, let alone hey, he's a brilliant guy. We know that. He's in that conversation, as you always say, smartest guy in the room type of brain. Anybody you ever talk to, bring the conversation to light then. That's fine. Again, bring it out. Let's talk about it. You don't agree with it. It could be a healthy conversation for our country to lead us.
But he was afraid of the
woke
mob.
That's what he was afraid of. So
they were going to cancel him.
I know. He hid within the woke mob, though, and then got mad when he got busted and got mad at them. And that's where I
reject that, too.
I know.
He just didn't want to be criticized.
He didn't.
It's not a matter of he's worried about the woke mob. Nobody's going to cancel Aaron Rodgers.
No.
The Packers are not going to cut Aaron Rodgers because he's unvaccinated. That's for damn sure, because they knew he was unvaccinated. This isn't about cancel culture or the woke mob.
No,
that's just a talking point that gets used by those who don't want to be criticized or held accountable for their actions or their words. That's as simple as it is. And now, as the world digests what he said on Friday, and it was 45 minutes of a lot of stuff on which people could comment, the report comes from People magazine, of all places, last night. A source close to Aaron Rodgers. Now, I don't know if that's his fiance, Shailene Woodley, or a publicist or somebody, a source close to Aaron Rodgers. And I don't know anything about the journalistic reputation of People magazine, but they published the story, so it's worth commenting on. Aaron Rodgers feels like he just shared his point of view, and now he's being crucified for it. He knew some people would disagree with him, but he didn't know that it would become the bleep storm it became. People who he thought were friends are turning on him. He's upset, and he's very unhappy with the response. It's bizarre to me that People's got this scoop. It's bizarre. And, with him, supposedly, there's nothing accidental. This is one of the curses of being smart. Things just don't kind of spontaneously happen. Is this the plan? What's the goal in leaking to People magazine this woe is me routine, which further tries to paint him as a victim, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you would think, again, he's in kind of a Hollywood crowd for sure, that there's some accuracy there, to a degree. We don't know, but yeah, I mean, we do know to a degree because we've seen how he is throughout his career, and of course, this is why we're here to begin with, because he's afraid of or doesn't like when people are a little adverse to things he says or does or anything like that. But yeah, it's disappointing. Yeah, he's my favorite quarterback. You know that. I think he's the greatest quarterback to ever play. But the way he handled this situation, disrespectful, deceitful, some misinformation bullcrap that he threw out there. And I just thought I would expect him to have been a little more honest and a little bit more leader about the conversation and just to own it and bring up these facts and talk about it, with a healthy conversation. But he went another route because of what you said. He was worried about people and how they would judge him.
Let's spin it forward then. He's going to return. He will, I assume, be fined by the NFL for his past protocol violations. Now, remember, the NFL will not suspend you for repeat violations until you've already been disciplined and warned. Repeat violations can get you suspended, but repeat violations for which you've never been disciplined, the NFL was asleep at the switch. The Packers were asleep at the switch. It's just going to be a fine. It could be a large fine, but it's going to be a fine of Aaron Rodgers. But he will be told, I believe, when he comes back, even though he has a 90-day testing holiday, 90 days of not being knocked out for 5 days due to being a close contact, that doesn't apply to him. But the mask rules still do. So he's going to be told you got to comply with the protocols or else going forward. And what if he just doesn't want to? Is he going to refuse to do press conferences because he thinks it's stupid to wear a mask? Is he going to complain about having to wear the mask the whole time? And Chris, I said this yesterday, and I still believe it is a faint blip on the edge of the radar screen, but it's a blip on which I am keeping my eye. I still think there's a chance that he just says between now and Saturday, screw all of you. I'm out. I'm done. I'm gone. Bye-bye. You shouldn't have done this to me. I can't believe you did this to me. As and this whole that the way he bastardized the MLK quote, I could see him taking a stand saying this entire system is unjust. Everyone's being unjust. I'm retiring. I don't think it's even a 3% possibility. But I'll tell you what, when you see these quotes being leaked, this idea that he's being crucified and he's so stunned by the outcome, that lays the foundation for him to say, I just can't do this. If he's making a power play, he can hide in this idea of I'm so rattled by this, I just can't put myself in the frame of mind to play football.
I mean, I don't doubt some of those thoughts go through his head, Mike. I don't doubt that, but I think at the end of the day, it still goes back to what we talk about. I think legacy is important to him, and I think if he says screw it or I'm not playing anymore, he realizes how he'll be viewed forever. And that is where, even though he might be going, hey, screw this, F that, I don't want to come back, the hell with all these people and all this crap and the media and all that, I just think those two things are going to make him check back in the door and go, okay, I'm the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. Let's play football.
For as bright as his future looked post-playing career after the Jeopardy thing, and they raved about how all the great things he's going to do once he's done playing, there's a lot of damage that needs to be undone.
No doubt.
It's not going to be easy for him.
No doubt. It's not a good look for him.
I tell you what, he hit rock bottom last week, and he kept digging. And usually on Tuesdays, he's on with Pat McAfee. What do you think? Is he going to do it today? Yes or no?
Yes, I think he's going to do it, and they won't even talk about the subject, that it's going to be just all football, 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 and they won't even get close to breaching this conversation at all.
How can you not do that, though?
Well, because those are his buddies, and that's why he does the show. So that's why.
Well, but that's what ultimately got him into trouble on Friday. Because they gave him such a wide berth to say whatever he wanted. He's so comfortable in that environment. He spewed 45 minutes of verbal diarrhea, and there was no one there. You know how every once in a while I reel you in to keep you away from the third rail?
Right.
You know how
I know, yeah. You're worried on my – yeah, I got you. Got you.
There's no one there to say, Aaron, whoa, that will be fine.
Right.
No one was in a position to say that to him. Because he's so comfortable there, because if he's anything other than completely comfortable, he's not going to do it. He's not going to appear on any show where he's going to get any real pushback or scrutiny. It'll be some perfunctory stuff, but nothing that really pushes back against him, because if you push too hard, he's just not going to do it. He's not going to do it. So he really, his desire and his obsession with avoiding criticism created this mess that he was in on Friday.
Right.
Because he's got such a favorable platform where no one is going to push him. He was able, unchecked, to say all of that stuff. And it wasn't until afterward that he realized, oh, geez, I shouldn't have said all that stuff. But the guys he was saying it to weren't going to be the ones to tell him.
No, they weren't. You're right. They weren't going to lead him in any different direction or try to maybe, clarify some of the things he says. But, he's definitely stepped in it. There's no doubt about it. And, like I said last week, when Aunt Wendy, that's the example I use because Aunt Wendy's she's a football fan. She loves Aaron Rodgers. I mean, she's not happy about it. She doesn't think it's a good look, and I think there's a lot of other people that feel the same way. And he's gonna have to deal with this for a little while for sure.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.